Welcome to this week's edition of Warrior Weekly. I'm Lukas DeGarmo. Alongside me, Travis Whipple. We're coming to you from the press box in between the Maxwell Field, the football field, and the baseball field behind us. First, though, let's talk about men's basketball. Signed some premier players.
Yeah, a great time period here with the National Letter of Intent signing period, and really came up with some great student athletes that are going to come in, I think, make a difference right away. You talk about four recruits here is the class, three true freshmen that will come in, and then a transfer. And the transfer from the University of Iowa and Anthony Tucker are going to be a great addition. But they added a lot of size in Ryan Sugala, Taylor Cameron, and Skylar O'Laughlin. Almost 7-footer. And so some great size, athleticism, some guys that can really shoot and play a variety of roles. So I think some big-time contributors here in the future.
Now moving on to women's track and field, Winona State moved up to number 10 in the national polls and first out of 8 teams in the UW-Oshkosh meet.
Second meet in a row where they've taken first place. The one before that there was 9 teams, and this one was 8 teams. They've been doing a great job and leading the way all season long. Rebecca Steer and Kelly Shaw continue to do a great job, and they've been honored by the conference this week as NSIC Field Athlete of the Week for Steer, and then Track Athlete of the Week for Shaw. So some great honors there and well-deserved. But team really playing well and are participating well, and as you mentioned, top 10 in the nation is pretty good.
Next up for the women's track and field team, April 16th at the University of Wisconsin in La Crosse. Now moving on to Winona State baseball, the field behind us here. They're second in the Central Regional poll. They continue to score runs like I can't believe.
Yeah, they've got a lot of offensive firepower. It's fun to watch and just doing a great job. But second in the Central region, a very difficult region, a pretty exciting time right now, an opportunity to possibly host some NSIC tournament, let alone the NCAA tournament. So great opportunities there. But talk about their last 2 outings against Upper Iowa. They put up 21 unanswered runs in game 1. And that's unheard of.
Yeah, the game was 4-4 in the 5th inning, and then they just dominated the rest of that game. Next up for Winona State baseball, April 17th, home against the University of Mary, a noon doubleheader, and also the next day, April 18th, against the University of Mary, doubleheader starting at noon. Winona State softball now 22-8 overall on the season, 8-4 in the NSIC conference, and they're 5th in the Central Regional poll, so both teams ranked in the region. Yeah,
both teams with a great opportunity. In softball, they're the top 8 advanced. So I think they're in good shape right now. We've talked about it the last couple of weeks, is some injuries that really have played into it. But they're still having a great year, and I think opportunity here at the end of the season to really make a run. And always have the NSIC tournament as well. But I look for them to be in the regional. They continue to improve on a daily basis, and they're doing well. They split with UMD over the weekend. They 8-runned them in the first one, and then the second one went to 11 innings, and it was a 2-1 game. So, they've been in almost every contest. They played well. And then earlier this week, they also split with Augustana. So, a nice season. I think that they're really going to grow and learn from the injuries that they've had, and I think that can only help down the road.
Next up for Winona State softball, April 17th at the University of Minnesota Crookston. Then softball returns home on April 21st at 2 o'clock p.m. versus the St. Cloud State Huskies. Now moving on to men's golf. They finished 6th place in the NSIC championships. Brady Strong-Steelian finished in 8th place with a .370.
Yeah, he's really done well and been their leader the last couple of years. But great for him, 8th place finish. And the team overall, they shoot a .304 and had a really nice tournament. Of course, NSIC golf's a little different. Half of their tournament is in the fall, half is in the spring, so they're just getting it finalized. But some good performances overall, and Tyler Whitley and Eric Christensen also finish up in the top 30. So good efforts by our men's golfers.
Winona State women's golf finished 4th at the Augustana Invite. They shot a .636 as a team. Narvison tied for 5th with a .152.
Yeah, again, I think that they're really gearing up here for their finish to the NSIC championship season and really playing well, finishing 4th at Augustana, and so it should be a good finish to the year here for them.
Now moving on to Winona State women's tennis. They won 3 matches over the weekend, defeated Minnesota State University Mankato 6-3 in a big conference matchup.
It's a huge one, and I think that might come into play here as they look into regional play as well. Mankato always a team at the top of the league, and so a very good win, 6-3, convincing, and one of our top 6 singles players didn't play. So really good effort all weekend for them. They got 2 other wins, 9-0 over the weekend against Bethel. and as well as Northern State. So tennis team playing well. There's a lot of good things happening here in Warrior Athletics.
Next up for women's tennis, April 17th at home against Bemidji State at 10 a.m. and the University of Minnesota Duluth at 6 p.m. Warrior Walk, Travis.
Great outing. First time we've had the event, and really it was about community engagement with our student athletes, and had over 150 participants down at the big lake to walk the lake and support women's scholarships. Raised over $3,000, and then, of course, took in the softball game against UMD. So a great event, and we'll look forward to having it again next year.
That's it for this week's edition of Warrior Weekly. For Travis Whipple, I am Lukas DeGarmo. It's a great day to be a Warrior.